What's up, guys? It's the morning after a Texas Pro. I did not stay up late. It ended at 11:40 p.m. Eastern time, so damn near midnight. I didn't want to be up till 1:30 in the morning. I'm old. I need my rest. You know how it goes. But some really surprising results here. Not surprising that Jordan won. I think that was almost a foregone conclusion after the judging. Kept him in the middle. Didn't move him. Looked amazing. Looked even better than he did in Tampa. Big shock was Joe Palacios in second. We're going to take a look at some footage of those comparisons. And Joe moved up in the finals. We're going to look at the scorecards and see how things changed for not only Joe, but a couple different people moved up or down from the judging through that confirmation round. Quint Beastwood in third place. Unexpected. Obviously, we thought he was going to be fighting for the win. Could maybe even turn the tables on Jordan this time. Get that win, get that Olympic qualification. Didn't happen. He was nice and full for the show, but the condition not on the level of the other guys in the top four, including John Jewett. And fifth place from Germany, Emir Omaragic, who was able at the finals, at the confirmation round, to get ahead of Bruno Santos and flip-flop those placings. So let's go to some footage. That's what we do. All right, so let's look at Joe moving up. This was the moment. So first we're going to look at some comparisons of the top four. And a lot of us thought things were going to go exactly the way they went in Tampa. And they almost did. The only things that have changed really were Quinton moved all the way from second, and all the way, it was one placing, second to third. Joe went from third to second, so they swapped places, and John Jewett kept that fourth place. So actually, it was almost the same. And fifth place would have been the same, except Bruno Santos got knocked out of that spot by Germany's Omir Omaragic. So good for Omar. Amir, what am I calling him? Omar? Amir, who a lot of the German fans were really hoping would make a strong showing. He did look significantly better than he had in Tampa. But this is it. This year, they were looking at these two for the win. Now, the scorecards are going to show that Jordan did have a perfect score. But I think it was closer than the scorecards would indicate. I think Joe had a legitimate case for winning. Just the sheer mass, the condition was incredible. I mean, this is a Stars Born moment at this show, or I should say, even in Tampa. I think these past two weekends have been breakout weekends for Joe Palacios. His stock has risen significantly. And see here, they moved him, and they just moved him on the other side of Jordan. And Quinton, you could see there he's frustrated and they moved Quinton again. They moved him to the outside. So at that point, some people were thinking, oh, no, he could be as low as fourth. But a lot of people in the comments on the video and comments in general were saying they thought Quinton was going to be third or fourth. And you know what? You guys were right. I was wrong. I thought Quinton's shape, symmetry, proportions, the aesthetics were going to carry him to at least second place, but they didn't. But he was only one spot down from that. He has already announced that he will be heading to France. That is happening. The French Pro is not a qualifier for this year's Olympia. It is happening on September 20th, day before my birthday. And it is the first qualifier for the 2026 Mr. Olympia. So HD Muscle, I assume his sponsor is sending him over there. They're probably paying the tab, as they should. They're a sponsor. So if he wins that, which, very strong chance he will, he wins that, he's all set for next year's Olympia. He can focus purely on an off season, build up that back, really build up those hamstrings, get some more overall mass. And I think he's going to be really, really dead. Let's take a look at the awards real quick here. It's going to come after this. So Quint there getting third, and he made a post. He's not pleased with himself. He coached himself, and he made a reference that he should have trusted his gut. He did not trust his gut. So, I don't think coming in Fuller is good if the condition is there, and his condition was not where it should have been if he was going to beat someone like Jordan. Jordan was just peeled, and Joe was beyond peeled. I think Joe's condition was even better than Jordan's. We'll take a look. But here are the awards. So, you can see the disappointment in Quinton. He's keeping a smile on his face. He's being a good sport. There's Andrew Jacked, the three-time winner, right? 22, 23, 20. Yeah, three-time consecutive Texas Pro champ, Andrew Jacked, decided to qualify earlier in the season this year at the FIBO show in Germany. Give somebody else a chance to win Texas, for God's sake. So there's only been 3 champs to the show now. The first year was Ian Valliere, then it was Andrew, and now it's Jordan. And there we go. There's the announcement, or here comes the announcement. And look at the size. I mean, Palacios is very, very comparable in size to Nick Walker. Very, very comparable. In fact, I want to pull up an Instagram shot that really shows the brutal size and condition of this guy. It was pretty incredible. So here's this was on Bodybuilders Without Borders. Oh, this picture was from Justin Compton. Is that right? Or is that just the coach? I don't know if he took the picture, but what a great picture. Best double bicep in the show. I think you could make a very strong case. That's one of the best double biceps in the sport right now. That's right up there with Nick Walker. Derek Lunsford. I mean, he's a freak. He is just massive. That is crazy. What's up, guys? Happy Sunday, Cody. Let's talk about the horrific backdrop of the Master Olympia. Well, I guess we could get to the Master Olympia while we're here after this. Quinton faded big time. I don't think he lost fullness. I think his condition just wasn't up to par. Yeah, Quinton was not in condition like those other guys. He just wasn't. Lighting is perfect here. Yeah, it's almost a black backdrop. It's like that starry backdrop they had, I think, at the 2009 Olympia, the year Jay did the quad stomp. I think that was the same year. Brockton, Mass. What's up, Ian? Brockton, Mass. I go there all the time. Westgate Mall. Yeah. Market Basket. I shop there. Maybe I go to the Canopy dispensary. It's hard to say. Does Joe's lack of sweep and wider waist lose to Jordan's lack of back and arms? I mean, Jordan doesn't have a bad back, but compared to Joe's back is just nuts. And look at that side chest. Look at the mass, the thickness. He's very, very, very similar physique to Nick Walker. Nick probably has better biceps, a little better side leg. Quads, not really sure. It's hard to say. Go back to that. Well, let's look at his arms there. He's got pretty damn good arms. I mean, Nick just has more of a peak. Nick has more of a peak to his biceps for sure. And that does make a difference. Yeah, let's go back to some comments. Dane says there's Spain and Germany to qualify. Yeah, there are 2 more chances to qualify, but Quinton is not trying to qualify for this year's Mr. Olympia, which I think is a good idea. I mean, if he can't win either of these 2 shows, what's he really going to do at the Olympia? I don't see him in the top 15, honestly, with the condition he had yesterday. Even in better condition, he's not ready yet for the Olympia. Nobody's talking about the winner. Everyone's talking about second and third. I mean, well, Jordan had already won a show. That back pose looks so similar to Art Atwood. Yeah, that's another guy he does kind of remind me of. This is a confirmation round for the top 4. Taking a look at it right there. Good morning, the Black Angel. Compadre, greetings from Mexico. What's up, man? Good to hear from Mexico. Yeah, and this was a tough show, just like Tampa. I didn't see anything from the confirmation round, but I do want to show the second call out, guys, because it happened at the confirmation round, which this won't be the footage from, but Amir was able to get ahead of Bruno. Bruno was leading him at the beginning of the day. So originally Bruno was up there in that first call out. So was Kareth Baja, who ended up in 7th place. Great job, Kareth. I mean, Kareth beat guys like Patrick Moore. Who else did he beat? He beat some good guys, put it that way. As a 212, who probably wasn't more than 215, 218, I'm guessing at the most. I think this was going to be the second call out, guys. Yeah, I think it goes from this to, here we go. This was the second call out group. Big Justin Savoy on the left. He's towering over everybody. Yeah, because Patrick Moore's he's 5'10" or 5'11", and so Justin must be about 6'2". So here, this was earlier. This was from the judging. They had Bruno and Amir next to each other, so they were close. And in the judging, after the judging, I should say, Bruno was ahead. They had Bruno ahead. Neither one of them has the greatest quads. Amir really needs to bring those quads up. His upper body really overpowers his lower body from the front. Kareth Baja there and Patrick Moore over on the right. You see Beef Stew. Where'd Beef Stew end up? Was he 7th, I think? No, he was 8th. Yeah, Kareth was 7th. Stew was 8th. Patrick Moore was 9th. And the tall guy there, Justin Savoy, on the left, he was 10th place. So, morning. Joe, the quad sweep, tighter midsection, be first call out to Olympia. I don't know about first call out. First call out's going to be like the top 6 guys. He's not there yet. He's not. He's very good. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Joe. Want to get him on the channel this week, but he's not ready for top 6 Olympia. Not yet. Carroll's very impressive. He beats a lot of good open guys. Yeah. So when they say, why have a 212 class if these 212 guys can beat the open guys? Well, not that many of them can. Not many of the guys in 212 are capable of doing damage at that level. Jordan. No, I got a physique guy up there. That's not a physique guy. Looks like it though, doesn't it? There's Aimer. Don't have a lot of shots of Aimer. This was from the pose down. I guess that's all we're gonna get from Aimer. Some posing in the dark. He didn't have many pictures. So who took these? The real technician? Oh, Aceto. Does Aceto coach him? I mean, look at that. Amir was peeled, man. Come on. The condition was right on. So I don't have a problem with him beating Bruno. And I'm not a Bruno hater. I'm not an Amir hater. I think he deserved 5th place. He looks really, really good. 5th place at this show was nothing to sneeze at. Good afternoon, muscle enthusiast, says Paul. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. How far can you see Hutchinson going, Ron? Structurally, top 10 Olympia. I don't see him cracking like top 6 Olympia. The Olympia's top 6 is very, very crowded. You still have Samson, Derek, and Hottie, 3 Mr. Olympia champions competing. You got Andrew Jack, Nick Walker, Martin Fitzwater. You got some guys like Tonio. Keep going down the line. Brandon Curry's still competing. William Bonac is still competing. So I don't see Jordan beating any of those guys. If he could do like 9th or 10th at the Olympia, that would be amazing for him. And that would still be top 10 in the entire world. That's not bad at all. Shoulders doing great. C-Max a little better every day. Amir has no lower lats. Well, nobody's perfect. I wouldn't say he has no lower lats. His lats don't insert all the way down at the hip bone. That's just a muscle insertion genetic thing. He certainly has a pretty thick back and pretty detailed there. I want to give the guy his props. I mean, he made top 5 in a very tough show. Joe, with improvements to his midsection. Well, he can't really improve his midsection, Goku. What you're seeing is like a little bit of a wide waist, and that's just his hip bones. That's his bone structure. Quad sweep, he can improve on that. That's muscles that can be built, the vastus lateralis. The midsection, it's not going to get any smaller. It's flat. He doesn't have a gut. Doesn't have a gut at all. But he's got to do something about that. Amer's page. Who else did I have? White borders. Who else did I want to look at? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. We'll look at the Masters a little bit too. I mean, I want to see the scorecard first. So, yeah, this is where Quint said he was going to. I heard France, which means he's not trying to get into this Olympia. He's trying to get into the 2026 Olympia. And, I've been going back and forth to some of you guys in the comments under the video post from yesterday. Why do I keep saying Quentin has better genetics? They say he doesn't have. I don't think he has the best genetics for adding muscle mass. Like you look at Joe Palacios, that's a guy who has incredible genetics for adding muscle mass. Quint, you just see minute improvements year after year. He's not putting on size very quickly at all. Joe has put on almost 100 pounds of stage weight in 5 years. I bet Quentin has put on something like 15 or 20 at the most. Which, how big do you want these guys to get, for God's sake? Was this the pose down? Yeah, this looks like the pose down right there. Pose down is just for the crowd. They used to judge the pose down. That was around on the score sheets back in the day. I don't know how they judged it because it's just chaos up there. It's just a bunch of guys jostling for position and challenging each other. But, they used to score that. They used to score a symmetry round. The posing round used to be scored. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff they used to score back in the old days. The French pro. I think that's what you're trying to say. Does Hutchinson need to be a top 6 Olympian in the future? I don't know if there's anything he can do, and I'm very happy for his wins, and I think he's an excellent bodybuilder. The top 6, like I said, it's very, very crowded. Is he genetically? Does he have the structure to beat those guys I mentioned? I don't think so. You know, you got, like I said, 3 Mr. Olympia champions already: Samson, Derek, and Hadi. You got Nick Walker. You got Andrew Jack, Martin Fitzwater, guys who are all structurally superior. And you still got a bunch of guys like Curry, Brandon Curry, William Bonac, Tony O'Burton. I'm sure I'm leaving a couple guys out. JH needs a better back to crack top 6. Yeah, Paul says more arms and back. I agree. The triceps in particular, I think, would help him. That's where I see he needs the most improvement. His biceps aren't bad at all. Let's go back to some more footage because I don't think I showed all the footage. Oh, did I? Texas Pro. This was from the judging. Yeah, from yesterday, from morning. This is the finals again. These are some still shots. It's going to go into video, but right there, that's still. I mean, yeah, Jordan is very, very good. Don't get me wrong, guys. Joe is damn good too. That's what I want to do. I want to look at the score sheets after this because the score sheets do show some interesting things happened. Let's Paul say after that. I could see Jordan being a breakout top 10 guy at the Olympia this year, since it was so deep. Yeah, I mean, 10th place, 9th or 10th would be great. That's top 10 in the world at your first Olympia. And coming off 2 pro wins back to back, I mean, that'd be an excellent season for Jordan. He's already had a great season. Just getting to the Olympia, it's amazing. It's an accomplishment. Most pro bodybuilders, most open pro bodybuilders, they never get to the Olympia. And certainly getting to the top 10 is even more prestigious because there's usually 20, 25 guys in the Olympia. So if you can crack that, beat half the field or so, you've done very well. You just made top 10 in the biggest most competitive bodybuilding contest in the world. So there's Joe and Jordan. Clearly the judges were at least pondering for a minute. Let's give Joe a chance. Let's see how he compares to Jordan. I mean, he's massive. Size-wise, he dominated everybody in terms of sheer mass. So wide across the clavicles, the size of those shoulders, the chest, everything. What up, dog? Okay. Hutchinson reminds me of smaller, better conditioned Regan. Regan has better shape and structure. Regan does not get into the condition that Jordan gets into. I've yet to see Regan Grimes ever in the condition that I just saw Jordan Hutchinson nail 2 weekends in a row. Yeah, I mean, top 10 is going to be. It's not guaranteed. It'll be an accomplishment. He's going to have to beat some good guys. This is unrelated. Freeze cooked by a banner here for watermelon. Huh? What? Oh, isn't it always good? I didn't know they had bad seasons for watermelon. If you can't just take gear and sit and watch TV. Have you ever seen those cows up on gear by the farmers? Those things are bred to be that size. It's like you could raise them in a pen without any exercise, and they'd still look exactly the same. That's me. Funny coincidence. Small world. Okay, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. Let's go to the score sheet for a second. I really want to show the score sheet. Stop screen. Okay, here we go. Scorecards. All right, so. All right. Is that big enough on the screen? I want to make sure it's big enough so you guys can read it. So let me look at that. Yeah. So Jordan, okay. 3-3-6. So if a high and low was dropped, he got a perfect score. He won first place, perfect score. Joe Palacios was 5 points ahead. 5 points behind Joe in the judging. Only 3 points behind in the finals. So he made up some ground. Interesting. Quinton was ahead of Joe by only 1 point during the judging, but at the finals, Quinton dropped down. Joe had 4 points over him. So we got more second place votes than Quinton did at the night show. And they ended up being 3 points apart. Jewett, I believe he stayed about the same. 12 and 11. Yeah, John was in 4th place the whole time. His placing was locked down the whole time. Amir and Bruno is where things got a little interesting. So after judging, Bruno was 3 points ahead with a lower score of 15. He was 3 points ahead of Amir. And then the reverse happened. They totally reverse. He got 3-point lead, Amir, over Bruno in the finals, and it was enough to squeak out. Oh, look at that. They had a tie score. They were both 33 in the finals. So the judges, I don't know how they decided Bruno should get, I don't know. I have no idea why they would have. I've never seen a tie like that where something had to be done, but they were tied, Bruno and Amir. I didn't notice that until just now. Who else got ahead? So Kareth was ahead of Stewart. That didn't change. Yeah, Kareth was solid. He was solid 7th place the whole time. Interesting. Let's see what else you guys got. Talk about Jordan, who would like to play stop fading. Too many good guys to qualify for the O now. Yeah, it's a lot. Interesting though, right? Yeah, they were bred for it, but they're not born that muscular. It's only when they give them gear. I don't know if that's true. If we're talking about those Belgian blue bulls, I don't think they get that way from gear. I believe, correct me guys, but I'm pretty sure they're bred to have no myostatin gene so that they just have unchecked muscle growth from the time they're born. I'm pretty sure that's what happens because I've seen pictures of dogs, some whippet dog that was super, super jacked, and I think that was the case. It had no myostatin gene. See, Jordan got straight first. Yeah, the myostatin bulls. It's not that they give them drugs to make them look like that. Like you could give a regular bull tons and tons of gear. It's not going to look like that. Those things are bred. They're bioengineered to look like that. They're not normal. Justin was supposed to compete. I think he changed his mind. Didn't see the point in carrying on. He needed more. They told him, the judges' feedback was he needed a lot more size. Clearly, he wasn't going to get any bigger in 1 week. So he decided to wrap it up, go back to the drawing board, and we'll see him again next season, I'm sure. I did want to go to the Masters for a second because the Masters lighting was pretty awful. I agree. I'll have to go to Nick's Strength and Power. I got all that posing footage from Nick's Strength and Power, so thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. That was very nice of you. Yeah, so Nick made a video asking them to fix the lighting. Get to that. So yeah, if this was the stream, this was the live stream. That looks pretty bad. It looks like pretty cheap camera work. I mean, that's not 4K. That's not Gilco. But look at the screens behind them. The lighting looks so much better on the screens. So there's Dorian Haywood, Phil Clayhar there, who ended up getting second. Dorian won. Yeah, I don't know who. That's Slavoj Bednar over there. I don't know this gentleman's name. But yeah, the lighting was not great. And the backdrop with those reds and the yellows, you could see their tan sort of blends in into the color scheme. Yeah, so it was not ideal. And this show got very little coverage, which is, it's unfortunate. These are all guys who are over 40 years old. Most of them have been training for 20 or 30 years. And they put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and years of their lives into the sport. Phil, to me, looks flat there. Dorian, I had how do we get out of that fan mode? I can't get rid of that. Okay, it's a QR code thing. Yeah, Dorian, well-deserved. This is probably the best I've seen him, or very, very close to it. And I've seen Dorian, probably 7 or 8 times competing. He nailed it. Great color, fullness, condition. Phil looks like he flattened out a lot from the last contest, from the last update pics that I had seen of him. I have to get out of that so I can go. I have to get out of full screen to go to your setting bulls. Yeah. Did beef stew get better at all? I don't think so. Remember when everyone was saying that FlexFuel had the myostatin deficiency, but it was really just oil? I don't know if we've ever had a truly myostatin deficient bodybuilder, pro bodybuilder. Like, they can determine that through genetic testing. Stu needs a break. I agree. He just looks beat up. I mean, I don't know what he needs, but bring back Dream 10. This problem is solved. Dream 10. It's like a crimson black hole swallowing up the guys in the middle of the Masters Olympia. Yeah, that crimson was a poor choice. They blend right into it, almost like camouflage. It's awful. Cracks me up. Bruno's qualified Olympia is getting beat by 4 people not qualified, but honestly, this shows tough lineup. Yeah, I mean, it's always about who else shows up. You know, sometimes you're getting a lineup where nobody's really awesome and you dominate. Just want to take a look at Phil versus Dorian there, a little Dorian Haywood. Because this is the first I've actually watched of the judging from the Masters Olympia. You know, I was really hoping, because I know Phil from the muscle. I've known him for years anyway, from seeing him at the shows and talking to him online and stuff. But I've gotten to know him a little better doing these Muscle Discord podcasts with him Monday nights for the past few months. I was really hoping he would pull off a win, but got to give Dorian Haywood his props. He looked really good. Well-earned victory. And he's been cracking at it for a while too, Dorian. And, you know, he lost his coach last year. Dave Kalick passed away. So I know that was a tough blow. They were close. Dave was a really cool guy. I miss Dave. I used to, every show, he was like one of the first, if I saw him, he was like the first guy I'd go up to and just start talking. Just a cool guy. Very cool guy. Anyone know anything else about the Masters? Phil's back is still incredible, especially for his age. Yeah, he's 51, I think, now. Shoulder's doing better, Power Extreme. Thank you very much. Watching Jordan Smith, Joe came in better, but Jordan's still better than Joe. Yeah, I don't think Joe was robbed by any means, and I think it was a little closer than the score sheets would indicate. But, you know, Joe beat Quentin, and Quentin was the favorite for at least second. You know, it was supposed to be between Quentin and Joe and Jordan again, just like it was in Tampa, with possibly Quentin pulling off an upset and turning the tables on him and getting that Olympic qualification. Didn't happen. There's Alex Cambronero. He was the classic champ. Jordan is doing great. Absolutely. Absolutely is. Yeah. Put the top 4 on again for a sec there. I'm going to get out of YouTube. Don't need to be in there anymore. Yeah. Let's get back to your comments, guys. Quentin looked better at the beginning and then started to fade. Yeah, he was, like I said, I'm gonna go to his Instagram because he's not pleased with himself. He's not pleased. And I get it, you know, to move down from second to third, and he was really hoping to win, really hoping to get that Olympic qualification. And it could still happen if he hits one of these other shows. If he goes to Germany, Dennis James's show, he could get it. Actually, probably has to work on that. Share screen. Yeah. Okay. Actually, probably has to work on that. Yeah, keeping the fullness. And that was an issue. I remember Dennis Wolf used to have a lot of problems with that. Bigger guys in general. Couldn't shut it down for the rest of the season, get a coach, something overall. Yeah, I think a coach would be a good thing. You know, I would like to see him work with Milos just to put on the mass, because to me, that's the missing puzzle piece. He needs a little more. He does need more condition, but his condition's not far off. It's not like he's out of shape. Just a little more overall mass in general, and more on the back, more on the hamstrings. Just know what fading means. It's when you're full and you lose that fullness and things just aren't popping anymore. You just look like you're deflating like a balloon. I hope I explained it, Paul. Paul, fading would be the muscles ain't popping like they should. Yeah, think of it like a balloon, just something that's inflated, losing some air. That's really, it's like being pumped and losing a little bit of pump. Chris Aceto. Chris is a great coach too. I'm sure Chris could do a great job with him. Fading implies it was there and then it was lost in a matter of minutes. I've seen it happen in minutes, Paul. I've seen guys look really good, and within 10 minutes on stage, they start losing it. They start losing the fullness, because I think a lot of them pump up too much backstage, so they're just losing their pump. There's no way it's real. Well, it happens fairly often. Watch Quentin. It literally did. Yeah, so these are some shots Quentin put up. He said, this week I really should trust my gut. I don't know what he means by that. I'm disappointed. I'm quite disappointed in myself. Thanks for your support. Yeah, I mean, I still think in terms of overall potential, long-term potential, I stand by what I've been saying. I think Quint has the best long-term potential just because of the structure and the shape. He needs more mass, specifically in a couple areas, but overall, he's not quite big enough yet. But you know what? Andrew Jacked wasn't always Andrew Jacked. Samson wasn't always Samson. And these are taller guys. It took them time to fill out. Samson, it took a few years. I don't know if you guys even remember when he first came out on the pro scene. I think it was like 2020. He was not the Samson you see today. He was definitely smaller, So I'm still holding out a lot of hope for Quint that in the next couple of years he can really come into his own. I know the clock's ticking, but he's still a young guy. Yeah, Milos put 60 pounds of muscle on Samson 4 years ago. I think it took him 2 seasons to do it, but that's exactly what I'm saying. If Quint could put on, let's say, another 20 pounds, I'm just throwing a number out there, 20 pounds of solid muscle on with that shape and that frame, it'd be astonishing. He'd be a top 5 Olympia guy. I honestly believe that. Compare paper 4. I'll go back to Phil Heath 2020 Olympia finals, textbook example of fading evidence on the same day. Well, I can't do it. Ron, can you show pictures from Quentin first walked out in finals? Well, I don't know if this was finals. It's noticeable. Well, if I go to, I think this, okay, I'm not really sure. The NPC News stuff, that was, I think this is, this was the judging. So what we're looking at here, this was Quentin as he looked earlier in the day, which, really, really crisp from the front, really full and popping. Okay, then I'll try to find, I don't have any individual footage of him from the finals, but I do have this group stuff, group shot. And I know it's hard to tell here, but you can see he's not as full there. He's lost some of that roundness and fullness. You can see it based on what we were just looking at. He definitely did lose some fullness and pop. And I don't know how much difference it would have made because Joe was a force to be reckoned with, Joe Palacios. But they were very close. Quint at the judging was ahead of him by 1 point, but like I said, Joe held on to his look and Quint did not, and that was enough. He looked noticeably detailed between the judging finals. Fading is a scam. Send me your fading money. Actually, like Quentin's legs and shoulders a lot. Oh, he's got great shoulders. I can't see fading and have a keen eye for bodybuilding conditioning. Womp, 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 womp. Oh, boy. Guys being brutal. Battle Up Productions. Just wonder what else they have there. I don't think Battle Up Productions. I want to find Jewett because I don't think I gave enough credit to John. And I did see somebody had him on their page. Was it Battle Up or was it NPC News? The same gentleman was shooting for their official photographer for Battle Up Production was also the same photographer for NPC News Online. Yeah, I'm all over the place with this. I guess it was on the NPC News. Well, hey, John's got it up. Come on, Ron. You can do it. You can find it. Oh, here we go. Okay. Gotta get rid of this. Okay, here we go. Here's John. Yeah. John looked phenomenal. John really pulled off a great look for this show. I think he came in a little fuller and a little tighter than Tampa. It wasn't a huge difference. It was subtle, but this was his better look out of the 2 shows, I believe, from the footage I've been seeing. I wasn't at either show, so it's hard for me to say. Crazy how much better these videos look with screens behind the athletes. Great job. It's Gilco Productions giving props to the guy who's shooting this video, Z Rich Productions. So Jewett, props to John, man. He held his own here, and that's a former 212 guy. So he was giving up I wouldn't say size because he's a thick dude, but he's a shorter guy. Guilty as charged. His quads, side leg, most defined areas for sure. We're still talking about fades. His midsection fading. It's made up. Paul, you're like a dog with a bone. You will not let go of that fading thing now. your dogged persistence. Joe's got some pointy shoulders going to that and ab and thigh. Huh. Some midsection. Get winded from the posing. I didn't see too many suspicious looking body parts in this show. John looked great. Different than fading. John's got to go back to drawing board with a side tricep. Yeah, I'm not in love with the way he hits that shot. John looks great. I don't think he can get much bigger though. Stomach getting too big. He's got a short torso. He's a shorter guy. And he's got a short torso. I'll fight to the end, bro. Well, I admire that tenacity. John has great detail. Yeah, John's he's a guy who does not miss. I've never seen him come in off. I've never seen him blurry. Sometimes not as full as others. Look at those biceps on him. Astonishing. He's got great biceps. Yeah, they have some really good. There's Battle Up. That's the same footage we just saw of Quint, so I'm not going to make you look at it again. Yeah. I assume I don't know who's doing France, but I'd be very surprised if he doesn't win that. I'd be very surprised. Yeah. Huh. Okay. What about Jordan? What's Jordan got up? Morgan Mac. Look at all these people I follow. Yeah, let's look at Jordan one more time. He is the two-time champ. I think it's only right we show Jordan. Some good shots. That's John, Quint, Patrick, Jordan. Yep. Are we on NPC News? I think we're on NPC News. Yeah, John just has a little bit of a shorter torso like William Bonac does. It's very similar structure, actually. So he's packed on a ton of muscle. I suspect if he puts on any more muscle, it will start to go to his midsection. And he's very cognizant of that. He's not going to let that happen. How far back are we going on this Texas Pro thing? So many divisions. That was the day before. Okay, so Jordan wouldn't be on that one. Jordan was on. I smell food. Is that Christian eating? Is my son eating downstairs? Probably. Yeah. Okay. Jordan with Andrew. Yeah. We'll wrap it up soon, guys. We'll wrap it up. Sergio doing Italy. Yeah. Yeah, he is. Let me take a look at him. No, I don't want home. I want Sergio Oliva Jr. So he's going to be up against Mark Hector, who is no slouch. He's very good. Very good. I interviewed him a couple weeks ago. What's the last update we have from Sergio? We'll see if there's any actual posing. He always looks great training. Okay, here we go. This was 4 days ago. Sergio's really good. I mean, I know he gets a lot of shit. He's one of those polarizing guys. I guess you either love him or you hate him. I love Sergio. I've known him since before his first pro win. I think I met him around 10 years ago for the first time. Yeah, I wish him the best. I hope he gets it. Although Hector's very good too, though. Mark Hector's very good, but Sergio looks really good right now. And this is the Italy show that was 4 days ago. When is Italy? Italy is September 7th. So how many weeks do we got? 1, 2, 3. So this is like a little over 4 weeks out. It's like 4.5 weeks out right here. I think he's going to nail it. I think he's right on track. Just needs to keep tightening up. He's got a little bit left to go, but he's got 4.5 weeks. September 7th. It's 4 weeks from now. I think he's going to be okay. That's his best shot. I think he's got an amazing frontal bicep. Really good V-taper, great arms, legs. He looks pretty damn impressive. George Farah coaching Andrew, don't know. Victor, he's out on some weight. I don't feel good about Sergio winning. Sergio, is Italy or France next? So, next show we have is August. Italy is September 7th. Germany is September 14th. And those are both qualifiers for this year's Mr. Olympia. And then France is the next weekend, September 27th, which is my son's birthday. He'll be 26. And that is the first opportunity, the France Pro, to qualify for the 2026 Olympia. So shirts, they're worth the money. Legit, the nice shirts I've ever gotten. So medium, please. And that wouldn't fit you, Paul. You're like 6'2", about 280 in the off season. You're not going to fit that shirt. Sergio's great, though. I think his arms are a little too good. Can't throw off. He does have. His dad had amazing arms. But let's look at Mark Hector, too, because Mark Hector is the man to beat at that show, I think. Unless there's someone else going in, I don't know. But Mark is looking pretty freaky. This was a guest posing. This was last year. That was last year. He looks better now. Let's see the most recent updates. This was 4 days ago. Yeah. Mark Hector. Oh, I thought we were going to see some more posing, Mark. Come on. Come on, man. Now you show me the cream of rice. Okay. There we go. So that was 5 weeks out. These are 5 weeks out from Italy. It's pretty damn great. Pretty damn ready to me. So I think Italy is most likely going to come down to Mark Hector and Sergio Oliva Jr. Mark's really good, man. He's got great shape. You know, he turned pro in the UK, which is not easy to do. They don't give out pro cards like Tic Tacs, like candy over there the way we do in the USA. You turn pro in the UK, you're damn good. It's not like, how'd this guy get his pro card? You never hear that about guys from the UK. Never. Yeah, that's him and his training partner. Okay. Stop sharing. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah. I'm going to take off. Mark Hector has great shape. He's bigger than I'm worried. Walk does eat ground poses. People forget. All right, guys. I'm going to take off. I got to go train legs. It's that time of day. Got to go hit a leg workout. So appreciate y'all watching. And that was a little recap of the Texas Pro where Jordan Hutchinson got his second pro win in a row. Here were the results one last time. Joe Palacios moving up. Joe the Machine, Blackstone Labs athlete, doing very, very well. Definitely put himself on the map to all the fans these past 2 weekends. Quint Beastwood, third place. John Jewett, fourth. Emir Omaragic from Germany, fifth place. And rounding out top six, Bruno Santos from Brazil. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it all. And I'll see you right here next time.